Right, so VIX75, as you can see, we have been in a major downtrend on the daily. It's in a major downtrend according to the daily time frame. So whenever we're trading a channel like this, a downward channel like this, you always need to know that at the top we sell, at the bottom we buy. Tops we sell, those are sell opportunities at the top. Then at the bottom we buy. That is how one trades channels. Up until that channel is broken, the market will always follow that channel for a very long time. So now at the bottom here, we bought. We have a buy that we took from the bottom there, which we're expecting to hold all the way to the top of the channel according to the nature of trading channels. So having seen that, we also can see on the daily that we had this other channel that was being followed: lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. The market came back and broke this lower high. After the break of this lower high, the market went on to create a higher high, which is this area here. So from that higher high, the market then dropped. And it's about to create a higher low. So what we can do now, is to use a Fibonacci, point A to point B, point A there, point B. You can see that around the 50%, that is where the price is. Around the 50% Fibonacci, that is where price is. So there around the 50%, 61.8, that is where I'm expecting the market to establish the higher low. Once it has established the higher low, I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. Break this high, continue higher highs, higher lows, up until we reach the top of the channel like that. That is what I'm looking at for the VIX. That is what I'm looking forward to for the VIX. So either around 50% or 61.8, we're going to establish our higher low. If we don't establish our higher low and we come back to this low here, and we come back to this low, we can still take buy positions from this low, because it would now be a double bottom, left leg, right leg, then the neckline there. That is if it comes back all the way there. But if it doesn't come back all the way there, we will respect 50%, 61.8. We'll enter our buy positions from there. So this is what we are looking at on the VIX according to the daily time frame. So let's go forward to 4 hour. Let's see what the 4 hour is telling us. This is the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour, you can already see that on the 50%, the market has established a level of an area of support there. The market has established an area of support on the 50% Fibonacci, which happens to be most probably our higher low that we have been wanting to see. So one thing that I can do, either I can put my point A there, first touch, second touch, I extend my trend line. I can do this, because that is now a new upward channel being followed. Something like this as well here at the top. Something like this. So already I can see that I have this upward channel that is being followed. So from here, most probably, we can have the market play around, move, go up, come back down, continue going up, something like this. We can have a scenario like that. So already I can see on the 4 hour we've established support. Let's go to the 1 hour. Right, so going down to lower time frames like the 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, there I only go whenever I want to get an entry point. There I only go whenever I want to get an entry point. For example, on the 1 hour, I can already see that I can use this downward trend line as an entry point. I have this trend line that I'm having here. You can also use this as an entry trigger to the buy. I can use this as an entry trigger to the buy, whereby after the break, then I will consider taking myself buy positions all the way to the recent high on the daily, which is this level there. So I can also use that as an entry trigger. On the 1 hour, I can use that as an entry trigger. So on the 1 hour, I think what I'm seeing is already more than enough. So with support here, broken, retested, we have this trend line. Once it's broken, we will enter our buy positions there as well. Right, so that is the trend line. You can already see it on 30 minutes very clear like that. Downward trend line, below the trend line, sells, above the trend line, it's buys. So already we can see that on 30 minutes, once we break this level here, once we break this area here, buys can actually start to happen once we break that level, because that level you can already see that it's a level of resistance. It's a mini resistance that the market has created. So once the market breaks here, most probably someone can even start to take their buy positions. But once this trend line is broken, those are much more confirmed buy entries. So once we get our buys there, my first target that I'm looking at the recent high on the daily, of which I'm expecting that high to be broken, since we are now in an uptrend, which happens to be most probably a counter trend of the daily downward channel that is being formed. So something like this is what I'm expecting. Something like this, risk reward of 1:7, somewhere there. 1:7, sometimes it's even 1:10, something like this. Right, so I'm looking forward to something like this. That's why I'm looking forward on the VIX. So if we break this trend line, buys are actually safe to be taken. Then, if ever we fail to break this trend line and the market comes back down, remember what I said on the daily. Even if it comes and reaches the previous low that was created, we'll simply take our buy positions based on that retest of the low. But so far we're on a level of support, which I mean, we'll look forward to other levels here. For example, this area, that can also be an area of significance that the market can come and respect, then go up. Something like this can also happen. But so far we are ready for all the scenarios, all the possible scenarios. We're already prepared for them. Whichever happens, we're already prepared. So far, my bias is on the bullish side of things due to the fact that the market has already established a higher high on the daily, which is a good thing. Once we have a higher high on the daily and a higher low, we know that the probability of us now having a more stronger bullish bias is high. So that is what I'm looking at on the VIX75. That is what I'm looking at on the VIX75. That is my expectation. Once we break that recent high on the daily, obviously we're expecting around the negative 27%. We are expecting the markets to reach some around those levels, negative 27%, then negative 100% around this area. So those are the other areas that we're just looking forward for the market to tap, and once it breaks this recent high, and then maybe get a pullback before continuing all the way to negative 100%. So for the VIX, that is what we're looking at for the volatility 75. That is what we are looking at for the volatility 75. So that trend line is a very, very key entry trigger. Once it's broken, one can actually consider entering their buy positions all the way. So that is what I'm looking at for VIX75. Let's look at something different. Let's look at something different. Let's look at Crash 500. Let's look at crash 500. Already crash 500, I have an analysis already. Let me just break it down from the daily. So crash 500, already we can see that I have some notes that I wrote there. We're in a bullish market, but we've established a resistance, which is this level here. Market has established a resistance, and it also broke this support here. Let me just put it nicely here. It broke this support, a pullback into support, then a continuation. Pullback, create a higher low there, then a continuation to other levels at the top there. So this is what I'm looking at for crash 500. So either a pullback into the support, we take more buy positions there on the pullback into the support. So far we have a room for some selling opportunities. There's some room for some selling opportunities once this trend line is broken. I have this trend line that I'm looking forward to. If ever I'm going to take selling positions, I'm looking forward for this trend line to be broken. Once this trend line is broken, I'll simply take my sell positions. My target is support, which is this area. So even if I refine it well here, it's something like this. This will be my target for the sales. So I'll take the sales after the break, touch after the break there, I'll take my sales all the way, hold them all the way to this support. Then on that support, maybe most probably look for buying opportunities back up there.